Hey everyone, First T here. Thanks for checking out this YouTube channel. Congratulations, Lanto Griffin, on winning the 2019 Houston Open. Here's his post-win press conference interview.
Get started here with the winner of the 2019 Houston Open, Lanto Griffin. Lanto earns his first career PGA Tour victory and moves to number one in the FedEx Cup. Lanto, if you could just describe for us the emotions of earning your first PGA Tour victory.
Well, it's my first top 10 too. So everybody says it hasn't sunk in yet, but out there I was just trying to get in my own zone, which I did a really good job of early in the round. And I guess I'm in the Players now, Century Tournament of Champions, Masters, FedEx Cup playoffs. It's incredible. It was really strange out there today. I was actually battling my own mind, how calm I was and how big of a moment it was for me, but I wasn't nervous, and I was almost trying to tell myself you should be nervous. And I think I talked myself into being nervous on a few putts on the back nine, but tee to green was, it was pretty darn good for me under pressure. So this is going to be a week that I'll never forget, regardless of what happens the rest of my career. I feel very fortunate, beyond words. So thank you to Houston.
And as I mentioned, you do move to number one in the FedEx Cup. You're in great position now to accomplish a lot of your goals probably at the beginning of the season, and you're set up well to advance to the Tour Championship at East Lake at the end of the season. How important a goal is that for you at this point?
Well, I can tell you I've already achieved all my goals today. What I do is I set realistic goals, and then I like to, achieve them and then set new ones. So we'll have to sit down this week and reevaluate the rest of the year. But for me, after I play well, it makes me more hungry to play better. My two wins on the Korn Ferry Tour, it's big for me is not having a letdown after a big win or what it may be. So I'll enjoy this for a couple weeks, but then I want to get back and set some new goals with my coaches and my team, and try and build off this and not fall back, not take it, So.
All right, we'll take some questions out here. If you got a question, raise your hand. We'll start with Brent Lee on the left here. Just go ahead.
Okay, what were the goals that you wrote down at the beginning of the season?
I can pull them out.
Such a hard achievement.
Yeah, let's see, I got them on my phone. Well, the first one is win. So, second one's keep card. Threes make 70% of my cuts. 3 top 10s, playing 2 of the 4 majors. Final group on Sunday. Knocked that out today. Top 50 strokes gained putting, top 50 off the tee, top 100 approach to the green, top 100 around the green, top 75 scoring average, top 70 FedEx Cup, qualify for Players and Invitationals, lock-up card before the Players, Sunday scoring average within 0.5 of my normal scoring average, just because Sundays play tougher. I've always had a hard time on Sundays to a certain extent, and I wanted to have 12 top 40s, 8 top 25. So 2 years ago, I had a lot of those 50, 60, 70 place finishes that don't really, reward you with FedEx Cup points. So I knew if I could just have a lot of the, top 30s, top 25s that, they would stack on top of each other like they have the last 4 weeks. So, but those are it. So I'll, check whatever I have off there and reevaluate after this week.
Mike?
Few bad. Let's go.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Few bad memories of the whole 18 yesterday. So, all right, you're in the tee box looking down the fairway. What are you telling yourself right there?
I wanted to hit 3-wood and draw it off the bunker, but it was a different wind. Today, obviously, it was calm, and 18 was playing a lot easier. The pin back left today was I could miss anywhere right at the green and have a chance. So I told my caddy I was going to aim the left edge of the bunker, and if it draws, great. If it's in the bunker, then we'll be all right. And I ended up aiming about 10 yards further right than what I told him. And I hit it dead straight. So it was actually a really good tee shot, but I I wasn't going to take in water left. I know a lot of guys. I mean, I know Rory would have aimed down the left center and peeled a 5-yard cut, but I don't have that shot yet under pressure. So I just knew that if I make bogey, I should be in a playoff at worst. It locks my card up. I achieves a lot of my goals too, and the main goal is to win, obviously, but you can't shoot yourself in the foot and hit in the water there. So I took my medicine and had a jumper lie with 9-iron from about 200, and it just barely caught the right edge of the green. So that was pretty happy sight.
We'll go Mike and then Brentley.
You've had such a long, interesting journey to get to that trophy. When you sank that putt at 18, you started breaking down. What was going through your mind?
It's just a childhood dream. It's what we all play for. So to look back or to look at all the past champions that get to play 5 to 10 events a year, I mean, that's going to be me. And obviously the Masters and FedEx Cup playoffs and Century Tournament of Champions, I get to go to Hawaii for 2 weeks now. It's mind-boggling. It's just, it didn't seem like it would ever happen. But at the same time, I believed in myself, and I was extremely calm out there today. So it's just bizarre. When it went in, I was pretty nervous on the back nine on almost every putt, and then on 18, it was like my only goal on the lag putt was just not to run it or leave it short. I didn't want to have a 6-footer downhill down grain and have to be tentative. So I told Chris I want to be aggressive. If it goes by 4 or 5, 6 feet, I'm going to make it, and I felt really good over it. It's actually very similar to the putt I made earlier this year in Alabama to win the Corn Ferry Tour event. I had to make a 5-footer on 18 to get in a playoff, and I made it dead center, and that's kind of what I was thinking back to. I was thinking back to that same putt, same greens, and it was just dead center the whole way. So that's a memory that's going to be ingrained in my head, seeing that putt go in.
Speaking of being nervous on putts, evidently you called it on 16.
I did, yeah. I was pretty frustrated on 12, 13, and 15, not birdieing those holes. I really didn't know where I stood. I knew I had to beat Mark if I wanted to win, and it was really good for me to have Mark in the group because we're buddies, and he was playing well, so we were feeding off each other. If he got off to a bad start and I had a 4-shot lead on him, I bet my mindset would have been a little bit different of, I'm beating him pretty good now, but there's a ton of other players like Scott Harrington. So happy for him. Scotty's story and journey is similar to mine. A lot of heartbreak and a lot of family problems, and he's 38. And so when I saw Scotty, we're walking up 17, and I asked my caddy, I said, do we have to worry about anybody other than Scott or other than Mark? And he said, Harrington's on 18 green at 13 under. He didn't know what he had to do. I don't know if he had a putt to tie me or not, but so I pretty much knew if I make par, I'm worst case scenario in a playoff. And so I was pretty happy to hear that, because somebody could have been at 15, 16 under, I wouldn't have known. The way the crowd was talking, I knew I was right there, but I didn't look at the leaderboard all day until I asked my caddy on 17 or 18 tee.
Brentley.
When you got the membership to Blacksburg when you were a kid, I think I read somewhere you said it felt like Augusta National, like you got a membership there.
100%.
Now you're going to be playing at Augusta. What does that
Man, I've always joked with people, pro-ams, and people ask, have you ever played Augusta? People that don't know, and I'm like, no, I'm going to wait until I earn a spot. Well, really, I've never been invited to play. So, but that week's is going to be, just thinking about it is an absolute joke to me that I'm going to be there. There's going to be so many different things that I can't even fathom that are going to happen after this week, and I'm just so grateful that I pulled it off, and we can enjoy it. And I need to make one amends. My girlfriend, I got to thank her. I forgot to mention her on the 18th green. Luckily, I gave her a kiss, but she flew in yesterday morning. She was at the last 2 weeks, and she worked all week. She's an attorney in Charlotte, and she wanted to fly in Saturday morning to watch my last 2 rounds, and she did the same thing in Alabama when I won. So thanks, babe.
Who else is here this week?
Just me and her. It was supposed to be a week, kind of a solo week. Last week in Vegas, she had to get home to work, and I told her, I was like, look, if I'm playing well going to the weekend, I'll fly you, I'll fly out Friday afternoon. But we had all the rain delays, and I was early late, so I didn't finish until Saturday morning. So it's kind of like, should she come, should she not come? And so she flew Saturday morning after a long week of work, and now we get to celebrate tonight. So we both had 8 p.m. flights tonight, and Marty Caffey and I, he's a PR guy, and on Wednesday I was like, I can't wait to go home. And he was like, well, won't you win it and miss your flight? And I was like, that's the only way I'm going to miss my flight. And so we're missing the flight.
You kind of bent it to her, though, after the double at the end of the second round, as I recall you saying yesterday.
I did.
At that point, you were a little angry.
I was just frustrated because
Sorry.
I didn't really hit those last 4 or 5 holes. I was playing so well the second round before it got dark, and I was just frustrated because if it didn't get dark and I kept playing 14 through 18, I wasn't going to play them 4 over. So coming back the next morning, it was cold and windy, and I played them 4 over, and that just pissed me off because I was hitting it good and I was putting good. So I used that as motivation. My big goal was to get off to a good start in the third round, and if I had bogeyed one of the first couple holes, I could have gotten down on myself, and it could have been, who knows what would have happened. But I did that, and the rest is history.
Brantley.
Have you heard from your mom yet?
I'm sure she just texted me. She made Team Lanto T-shirts, so she's probably freaking out right now. I got 447 texts that I have to get back to. I did a good job last night. I had like 130 texts just from being in the final group, and I didn't look at one of them, other than my coaches and my mom. When I have a lot of people texting me, I get in my own head, and when I look at leaderboards, I get in my own head. I'm very analytical upstairs, and so we had a really great evening, me and Maya, last night, and we got Chipotle. I ate Chipotle 4 times this week, and I haven't had a sit-down dinner this whole week. I just grab Chipotle and go to the hotel room and watch football, and so she let me do that last night after flying all the way over here, and but I'll get back to everybody. I think we're at 451 now, at 457, so we're moving up. But big thanks to everybody that supports me back home, and man, it's gonna be fun celebrating with everybody.
Now, the day you got your membership was also probably the saddest day of your life. Can you talk about your dad's role in your golf career, and what would he be saying right now?
I bet he'd be pretty proud, but he got me started. He got me set. I don't know if I'll be able to tell the story, but for Christmas in 1996, he got me a 5-iron, 7-iron, 9-iron putter, 3-wood, and he got me into golf. So, and then Steve Prater, he took it from there. So he was a head pro at Blacksburg, and I told Steve, I put Steve on payroll for the first time in 17 years to start this PGA Tour season, and he deserves every penny that I'm going to pay him. So I can't wait to write that check for him,
Why does he deserve it?
because I wouldn't be here without him. I mean, he opened every door in golf that I've ever had, teaching me for free, giving me a membership. He's had my back my entire journey. So if Steve's watching, I know he's going crazy right now, but we did it. And he deserves a lot more credit than he gets. So
How do you describe Steve? Your mentor, friend?
I mean, everything. The most patient,
Guru.
happy, just everybody loves him. I mean, his following at Roanoke Country Club is incredible. I mean, he has so many juniors. He can sit out there for 10 hours straight with anybody from a 10 handicap to a beginner, and he never ever gets frustrated with them. And he's always got a jolly, laugh to him, and he's just one of my best friends. And I'm really excited about cutting him this check. So,
And I mean, again, for those of us who don't know the whole backstory, this is at Roanoke Country
he's
Club.
at Roanoke Country Club now, but
At the time he was at...
well, exactly.
Yeah.
And then his son Jack was about 4.5, 5 years younger than me, and I used to spend the night, at that age, 12 to 7.5 is kind of you usually don't get along too well, but I just loved golf so much that I was like, if I can just stay around Jack and Steve and get to the course, I would stay at his house for 3-4 days at a time when you can get to the course at 7 a.m. and not leave till 7 p.m. That's what made me fall in love with the game at a young age. So if Steve didn't bring me in at that real vulnerable part of my life, then there's no chance that I'd be playing golf in college or obviously winning the Houston Open.
And your dad had passed away at the age of, when you were 12.
Yeah, that was,
And what's your dad's name?
Michael.
Michael. And Steve, was Steve the head pro? Is that
He was a head pro. And my dad did bring me to Steve for one junior clinic. So Steve got to meet him. So
Mike?
thanks for asking that question. Prater. Everybody go work with him. His race just went up.
How many times you talked to him this week?
We text a lot, but we have one of those relationships where we don't really have to talk basically. So we'll talk every week, but he texted me. He's having so much fun following it. Like he texted me last night. We having fun yet? And he told me he didn't fly to Houston for nothing, right? We played 4 weeks in a row. I've had 4 straight cuts, and I'm exhausted. So last week in Vegas, I kind of ran out of gas on Sunday on the back nine. I didn't have a chance to win, but I had a chance to top 10. That was a huge goal of mine, just to get a top 10. So I was pretty frustrated that I ran out of gas because I didn't really feel like it was me that doubled 17, and I just kind of felt like my body just kind of started shutting down. So today that was a big goal of mine, is just to not let that happen again. And I felt great the whole day. So I don't know what I did differently. Maybe it was Chipotle. Maybe we'll eat there again tonight. Who knows? But yeah, it's pretty cool.
You've got such a unique story. What do you think is the most unique thing about yourself?
Oh, man, just our childhood. I mean, my parents loved us so much, and we didn't have a whole lot, but we had everything we needed. So just growing up in that mindset, I feel like a lot of people look at golfers as being, rich, spoiled kids that, kind of live the good life, and they're not wrong, but there's a lot of really good people in golf that didn't grow up that way, and there's nothing wrong with growing up that way either. You don't blame anybody for being, well off, but for me, it wasn't, I kind of had to earn everything. I had to beat the right people, and man, there's 20 or 30 people that if they didn't open their checkbooks to me in amateur golf, junior golf, mini tours 2 years ago, I couldn't have kept playing. So, I could name them off. They all know who they are. There's a bunch of them. So I was very fortunate to meet the right people, and they liked me enough to give me a shot. And it's a little different than, some people, but I always felt like I owed them everything I had, in practice. I never wanted to take their money and do something bad with it. Not that I would have, but, I felt like if I wasn't working hard and doing the right things that, I didn't deserve to do that. I had to work my butt off, and not everybody's going to be a Jordan Spieth or, Ricky Fowler or, the top in the world. And some of us takes us till you're 28, 29 to get on tour. And George McNeil, I talked to him last week, and he was 30, and he's played 14 years. So hearing stories like that, that's more who I am. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Life's still great, and I'm not going to change. This win's not going to change me. I can promise you that. I'll be the same person.
Congratulations once again, Lanto Griffin. What are your thoughts on this year's Houston Open? Let me know in the comments section below. And please, click on the thumbs up icon if you liked this video. Subscribing to this YouTube channel and sharing the video also helps. And don't forget to click on the notification button for this channel so you won't miss the next First 2T video.